All right. LDBC, this is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show Live. And I told you guys that I would be doing a post-fight analysis video on Sijara Eubanks versus Roxanne Modafferi. And, this fight, it was a good fight, man. Sijara Eubanks, you can tell, man, that she was pretty much affected by the weight cut. This girl had to cut a massive amount of weight, and I'm like, whoa. And you can tell when she was in the octagon, her energy, I mean, she just didn't have that same snap, in her punches and her kicks. She didn't. And, a weight cut, if you've ever fought and if you have to, cut, massive amounts of weight, that's what happened. I mean, you're there and your mind is going to take over where your body can't, but you don't have the explosion and the pop like your body could have if you didn't have to cut a massive amount of weight. But nonetheless, Sijara Eubanks, she came in and she immediately dictated the pace of this fight. She dictated it. Roxanne Modafferi, she was, I don't know, man, she looked real stiff and robotic. And, I've really never seen Roxanne look that stiff and robotic. It was almost like Roxanne was, I don't know, how can I put it? It's like Roxanne didn't want to throw down. She was backing up most of the fight. And, normally Roxanne Modafferi, she go to get it, Roxanne, she go get it. But it's like in this fight, nah, she didn't, man. Roxanne Modafferi, she felt the power of Sijara Eubanks. She started backing up. And Sijara Eubanks did a phenomenal job of counter punching. She did a great job, man. Roxanne would throw maybe a weak jab, and Sijara would just counter it, And Roxanne was doing, Roxanne would throw a weak jab, and Sijara would do a good job of countering. And Sijara did a good job of countering over top of Roxanne Modafferi's weak jab. And, I was like, golly, man. The Happy Warrior didn't look so happy. Justin Gaethje was really starting to irritate me. And I'm sitting here thinking this guy's a good coach. He was lying to Roxanne Modafferi. He was lying to her. He was telling her that she was doing good. No, after round one, he should have been telling her, look, Roxanne, you getting your PG-13 channel whooped, okay? You are getting your PG-13 channel. That's what I would have said. Listen, you're going to have to come out there and you need to get aggressive because right now you're being too passive. See, Justin Gaethje didn't tell her, oh, you're doing fine. We got her right where she want. Oh, you're going to break her. She's going to tire her out because of the weight cut. Well, she didn't. Sijara Eubanks did a great job of actually rationing out her stamina. She rationed out everything. She didn't go all in. Sijara Eubanks used a lot of intelligent pressure. She was very methodical in how she picked apart Roxanne Modafferi. Roxanne she was sloppy, stiff, robotic, and sloppy this fight. And this is no disrespect to Roxanne. I like Roxanne because she's always the underdog. And, people never pick her to win, but somehow Roxanne Modafferi finds a way to win. But Sijara Eubanks was clipping the hell out of this girl. I mean, it was nothing that Sijara couldn't do. Even on the ground where I thought, okay, Sijara, you're winning the stand-up battle. Don't try to take Roxanne to the ground because Roxanne can submit you. Roxanne is a very good submission specialist, so I was kind of scared. I was like, oh, okay, dang, Sijara, you finna get submitted. No. Sijara, she took down Roxanne Modafferi like a G. She handled them takedowns like a G. And, Sijara was trying for a guillotine choke. And, Roxanne Modafferi did a good job. She did a real good job of defending those submission attempts. She did. And Sijara Eubanks had Roxanne Modafferi in a rear naked choke, and I thought it was it because Eubanks had that thing locked in tight. But, man, Roxanne Modafferi, she managed to get up out of that, man. She survived. And then in the third round, Sijara Eubanks just she went for it. I mean, she went for it. She was going for takedowns. And when she finally got Roxanne to the ground, I mean, she was throwing elbows, man. And Sijara Eubanks threw, in round two, she threw, I'm talking about, man, a brain-rattling knee to Roxanne Modafferi. She kicked in the jaw. She hit in the jaw with the knee. And Roxanne felt it, man, staggered her. And it's like, Roxanne got beat in every phase of this fight. She got beat in all phases of the fight. There was no part of this fight that I thought that Roxanne Modafferi actually won. None. It was zero. Roxanne gave a valiant effort, but she went in there and I want to say Sijara Eubanks dominated this fight. Dominated. It was complete destruction. I mean, she dominated the fight. And, Sijara, I thought was at a disadvantage because of the weight cut. But nah, Eubanks came in like a G. She held that on. Look, she was, you can tell she was exhausted, man. Even when she was giving her interviews, I mean, she was real exhausted. But at the end of the day, she came in, she sucked it up, and she fought, and she won. So, I'm proud of the sister. I'm proud of my sister. She got it done. No disrespect to Roxanne. Roxanne is she a good fighter. And I was telling people, don't let Roxanne Modafferi record fool you. Don't let the record fool you, because Roxanne Modafferi is, she's sneaky, and she can end up putting you in a submission, and then that's it. And I was thinking in round 3 that Roxanne was going to try to slip an armbar in there. She was trying to, but she just couldn't do it. And I was like, man, that'll be terrible for that'll be terrible for Sijara Eubanks if Roxanne Modafferi was able to do so, because she completely dominated all 3 rounds, man. Dominated. I mean, she made Roxanne Modafferi just look like an amateur. She did. She made Roxanne like an amateur in that fight. One thing, though, criticism of Sijara is those kicks, man. Those head kicks, they were so telegraphed. And it's like Roxanne Modafferi is slower than Sijara Eubanks. So Sijara was able to land some of those head kicks. But now against some of the top talent in the world, like, Valentina or Jan Jacek, she throw a head kick that slow. Them things ain't going to land. Okay, Sijara, she got to do a good job with the weight in between fights. She going to have to. If she's going to stay at this division, she's going to have to do a good job with the weight, because if not, that's going to always be an issue for her. And she's going to find herself always cutting, massive amounts of weight. You got to be a professional. That's why fighters like Valentina, that's why they excel so well, because they do a good job of keeping the weight down in between fights. But you guys tell me what you think. Shout out to Sijara Eubanks. And now she's going to face Nico Montano. And that's going to be a good fight. I even like the way Sijara Eubanks was talking. She said, look, I'm not finna be denied. I'm finna be the champion. Ain't nobody taking this. I'm going in. And I can feel that in Sijara Eubanks' spirit. I could feel it. And she was right. She did everything that she said she was going to do. She said she was going to dominate this fight against Roxanne Modafferi. That's what she did. And she looked out into the audience. That was funny. She told Dana White, and I was laughing. I said, man, call him a bald-headed Whisker Biscuit PG-13 channel. But she said, y'all got me ranked at number 12, and look what I done did. Look, Sijara Eubanks done took out the number 1 seed. She coming in ranked, what, number 12? She came in ranked number 12, man. Sijara Eubanks done took out the number 5, the number 2, and the number 1 seed. Shout out to Sijara Eubanks. This is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. I'm done. What are you guys waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.